Cowboys defensive end David Irving suspended 4 games by the NFL for violating their PED policy. Giants lead the Rockies in the 7th 4-3.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set,
just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Hi. Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back at it once again here. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed. Hurry up and no-huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands. Heard around the world on the iHeart radio application. You can download it today. It is free. The Clemson Sports Talk app also free. Head over to our website, clemsonsportstalk.com. Click Join the Conversation and become a part of our free Slack channel where we talk. Trim that down just a little bit, make it a little bit easier on people as there is a bit of a learning curve. But we can expand it so that on like National Signing Day, we have our own channel for Signing Day. During games, we'll have our own channel for that as well. I think you're really going to love what we can do with Slack down the road. We want you to be a part of it. A growing community, closing in on 50-plus members in just a week. So I know it's going to take off. We definitely need you, though. Head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Click Join the Conversation. Lowell, the intern, as you can see if you're watching the program right now on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, in the building, back in the Rudy Was Offside shirt. He claims that this is not the same shirt he wore yesterday, that this is his second Rudy Was Offside shirt. Now, in fairness, I never gave Lowell the intern 2 Rudy Was Offside shirts, but his father apparently gave him his shirt. So that would explain why, if you're watching today's show, Lowell the intern is dressed the exact same as he was yesterday. But he has once again shaven for an interview apparently that he had today, so he does not look like some sort of mountain man anymore. He actually looks very young and fresh-faced, nearly a spry 22 years old, if you ask me, sitting across from me. Lowell the intern, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom, realest champs in the room. How you doing?
Doing it, man. I'm glad to be back with everybody here. Wednesday edition, hump day, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big hump day guy.
I don't like it.
Are you a big hump day guy?
No.
I worked with a man. I really like him. He's a funny guy.
Does he go with the guess what day it is?
Oh, yeah. He does.
Yeah.
He does. And what's funny is eventually he did that so much that people bought him the shirt. So then he would wear the shirt on a Wednesday.
And then he wouldn't have to say it anymore.
Right. He could just go point to his shirt. And then you look at his shirt and he'd go, "It's hump day." Just like the cow or the camel.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going into any animal topics here on the program today after yesterday's orca topic blew up social media, I think. But nonetheless, be a part of the show. Watch it, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Listen to it on iHeart Radio or Fox Sports Radio 1400 here in the Midlands. Or, even better yet, get the podcast editions, which means you get to listen when you want to listen. Coming up at 7:20, brand new assistant men's basketball coach Antonio Reynolds-Dean will be a part of Clemson Sports Talk. We'll get his thoughts on why he chose to come to Clemson, what were his thoughts about the program from the outside looking in, and ultimately where does he think this team can go. Maybe I'll take him down the old Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof. I may ask him what the ceiling or roof is for Clemson Tiger basketball. All right, Lowell, we touched on a unique topic yesterday here on Clemson Sports Talk, and it was one that a lot of people weighed in on social media. And that's one thing I love about the brand Clemson Sports Talk and the support that we have from so many people out there is they hit us up on the social sites. They hit us up and tell us what they think. And I appreciate that because this time of the year, it's absolutely fantastic fodder for us to dive into. Like at All-American KC, who came in strong and said, I'd like to see Southern Cal and Notre Dame being played in South Bend. And we talked about, man, if you could go to any game, if you could travel around and see great football games, not with the team you love. I know you want to see Clemson in South Bend, Indiana, Tiger Nation. Gamecocks, I know you want to see South Carolina win over Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I get that. But I want to know the games that you would like to go see that your team's not playing in. Are there games that you would potentially sacrifice a Clemson-Florida State matchup, maybe the biggest matchup of the year for Clemson? Is there a game that week that you say, Swanee, if money were no option and I could absolutely travel anywhere in the world, I'd go see that game instead? I realized, and I said this yesterday, and I mean it, there's a lot of great that I'm missing in college football. There's a lot of great out there that I don't get to be a part of, from the game day festivities to the in-game experience to even the little things like the mascot running onto the field. Maybe it's the cheers being led in Texas A&M, but not with Clemson there, where I am invested in my team, invested in the Tigers, where I can just be a part of it. Like Scott says, he's at SJRR22. How about Army Navy, then the Iron Bowl? He is in Scott's defense. I don't even know if it's a defense, but in support of Scott, Army Navy's a game I think a lot of people would love to see, but would forget to bring up in a conversation like this. The pageantry of the end of that game, when the two schools stand at attention for the alma mater of each other, the winner first standing at attention for the loser then standing at attention for the winner. Brandon, Coach Stockdale at Twitter at 1BStockdale says, how about Southern Cal, Oklahoma State? Just a couple of venues to name a few. Not necessarily those two teams playing, but he doesn't seem to care. He'd like to go see the Pokes playing in Stillwater. He'd like to go see the men of Troy playing in Los Angeles. I think it's a very, very interesting topic. 2 running 1. That's Robin. She says, how about Army and Navy? Matt at Matt F. Golden says, how about a big LSU home game and a big Ole Miss game? Lots of people chiming in, including Chuck, who says, how about South Bend to see Southern Cal and Notre Dame? He's at Charger BSB on Twitter. We want to engage with you. We want you to be a part of this show on social media. So when we ask you questions, be a part of it. We'll make sure we work you in here on the air. So, Lowell, I thought last night about this topic. And I remember yesterday on the program, you and I kind of went through some things. And I think I even said, man, wouldn't it be fun to go through the schedule and look at these weeks and find games that you'd go see? Now, we had some stipulations on it. But I think if we're going to do this, we may as well lift the stipulations and just say you can go anywhere you want to go. Because the stipulation I had put in previously, maybe even on Monday before Lowell the intern got here, was that you didn't go to neutral site games. Because one thing we know about college football and one thing we know about the beginning of the season is there are a lot of incredible games that are played on neutral sites. So, Lowell, I will yield to you here for a minute. A chance to make a decision, a fundamental decision, because what we didn't do was rehearse this. We didn't go through week by week. We wanted this to be natural. We wanted this to be off the hip. What game would you want to go to? Week by week. Lowell, would you like to have neutral site games be off limits? I think it's a fair question to ask.
Well, you're taking away a lot of good games if you take away the neutral site games.
You are, but in fairness, a lot of those neutral site games are only the first couple of weeks of the season, and then you get into teams having people at home. You know, silence on the radio is golden, Lowell.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Take away the neutral site games.
So, no neutral site games Where are you going to go? What are you going to see if you're talking about the world of college football? We know the opening week of the season has that Florida State-Alabama matchup, which I think is the natural one that everybody would pick to go see.
Well, you also have West Virginia and Virginia Tech in Maryland at FedEx Field.
You've got Michigan that week taking on Florida at Arlington in Texas there at Jerry's World. So that's another one that's out there. So you're going to have to scramble now to find something that you'd like to go see. The Texas A&M game at UCLA played in the Rose Bowl. Is that considered neutral site?
No.
So that's a home game for UCLA.
I would call it a home game for UCLA.
Well, I'm looking here, Lowell. That may be the one that I would take.
Yeah, you're taking my pick. That's okay.
Yeah.
You can take my pick. I'll find another one.
Well, you know what? If I'm just talking about going to the game day environment and being I'll tell you what. I'll let you have that one. If I'm just going to the game day and I'm being an observer, how about I travel and watch Appalachian State taking on Georgia? Go into Athens, just see the opening weekend of the college football season. I don't know if they have a First Friday parade like Clemson does. Nice campus, nice environment. If you're not the opposing fan, I'll take that one. I'll go see App State at Georgia, 6:15 Sanford Stadium.
Okay, I don't hate it. I like Athens. It's a great environment. That could end up being a pretty good ball game.
Yeah.
Considering what App State almost did to Tennessee in the opening week last year. I think I would have to stick with Texas A&M and UCLA just because it's in the Rose Bowl and the two teams that are involved. That should be a fantastic ball game. If I wasn't taking that one, though,
right,
I'm going to Atlanta to watch Tennessee, Georgia Tech.
Now, the following week, the second week of the season, there are a ton of great games. And looking ahead and kind of crystal balling this thing, if I had to go somewhere to see any matchup in the country, week 2, money's no option. I'm going to see Pittsburgh play at Penn State. Give me the old rivalry. Give me the battle for the state of Pennsylvania there between these two. I'll take Pittsburgh at Penn State in Beaver Stadium, Mount Nittany in the background. Hashtag I'm all in. I'm all over that trip.
That's a fantastic pick. There are 3 games that I am stuck on here.
Yeah. One of them is probably Louisville at North Carolina.
No.
I would think that would be one.
That's not the one that I have in mind.
Okay.
Stanford at USC would be very high on my list.
Sure.
Oklahoma at Ohio State.
That's another great pick.
And then Georgia at Notre Dame.
You know, there's another great one out there, too. Oregon that week is hosting Nebraska.
I thought about that one. I think you will find better opportunities to travel to Oregon later on in the season.
Sure. Okay.
So I would pass on that. If I had to pick just one of these games, I think I'm going Georgia at Notre Dame in South Bend.
Positive Mike says he'd see Houston Baptist at Texas State. That's what he'd like. Positive Mike, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's going to be at anybody on the top of anybody's list in terms of games that they would like to go see. Neutral teams. It can't be your squad playing the third week of the season. Where are you traveling? What's the matchup you'd like to go partake in and participate in? I'll go Miami traveling to Florida State. Go to Tallahassee, see the history of that rivalry from an observer's perspective. Week 3 for me, Miami, Florida State, all day, every day, old school rivalries, the tomahawk chop, everything that's gone into that matchup.
Well, since I passed up USC last week, I'm going Texas at USC this week.
Ooh, here's the thing. It's a great matchup if Texas is great.
Right, and I think they're going to be pretty good next year. I think that's going to be a very good matchup, and I get to go to USC.
So there you go. Lowell's going to travel west. Week 4 of the season. We'll do 6 weeks now. We'll do 6 weeks in hour 2 of the program and tell you where we're going to go. Week 4 of the season, Where would I go, Lowell? What would I see?
You know, it's funny. I'm finding myself drawn to the West Coast a lot.
Well,
looking at these.
I wondered. I kind of got that vibe too, and I wonder if it's because we don't traditionally get to not see those places, but really experience those venues. And maybe I'd get out there and be extremely disappointed in what I saw. But for this one, I'm going to go up. It'll probably be a little chilly. It's an 8 o'clock start. Spartan Stadium, East Lansing, Michigan. I'll go watch Notre Dame taking on Michigan State.
Great pick. That's what I was looking at too.
I love that one.
You're leaving me scrambling here. Okay, let's see. Not a lot of great matchups in
week 4 of the season.
Week 4 here. I'll go Syracuse at LSU. I imagine it's going to be a night game at LSU. I don't know that Syracuse is going to be that good, but you get to take in the night atmosphere at LSU.
You know, another one that might be one you could have looked into potentially, maybe TCU at Oklahoma State if you wanted to see the Cowboys. Even if you haven't been to Athens in your mythical trip, you could go see the Bulldogs of Mississippi State take on the Bulldogs of Georgia.
I could go back west again, go Oregon and Arizona State. I could go Virginia at Boise State.
If it's Oregon, Arizona, I looked at that one too. If it's Oregon and Arizona, I'm more interested in it than Oregon and Arizona State, simply because I feel like I'm more compelled to watch Arizona than I am Arizona State, just as a fan of college football.
You know what? Thinking about it now, I could stick with my LSU pick here. But I think I'm actually going to go Arkansas at Texas A&M, or Arkansas versus Texas A&M. Oh, that's neutral site, isn't it?
What?
It's AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, neutral site can't do it.
Neutral site can't do it. All right, I'm sticking with LSU.
So hold the intern.
Although, is it neutral site?
Well, not exactly. No. And didn't they play? Let me ask you this: didn't they play in a bowl game, or wasn't there something where? Before Texas A&M came into the league, the year before, I think this was right. I think the year before Texas A&M came into the league, they played Arkansas in a bowl game, and then they came into the league and played a game at the neutral site. But I don't remember if the bowl game they played was the same venue. But I want to say the year before they came into the league, they had played a neutral site bowl matchup. We'll have to. Lowell, you'll have to do some double checking on that. I don't remember. What's it been, like 4 or 5 years now? Texas A&M has been.
They came in 2012, I want to say.
SEC. Yeah, so something like that. All right, so week 5 of the season, we'll give you one more week after this one. Again, you can't go see your favorite team play. One of the matchups, though, that I would definitely go see, I'd like to go to Tennessee, see the ambiance, 100,000-plus people as they host the Georgia Bulldogs. SEC matchup, it's a different color orange, but I'll do it.
Well, I think I'm going to go Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. I think that's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, lots of points on the board.
And I get to make my first trip to Texas here in our mythical thing.
You've been to Texas.
I actually have not been to Texas. So in general, I get to make my first trip to Texas. 6 1, half dozen
the other. All right, so for my week 6 pick, as we get ready to head to break, I'm taking LSU traveling to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators.
Oh.
All over it.
Oh, and
all day, every day.
Considering the controversy that came out of that last week, that's also a fantastic pick.
Can you imagine if it's a 8:30 start, give me a break, or an 8 o'clock start?
Oh,
Michigan State at Michigan's available.
Yeah,
that would be a good one.
That's a fantastic one. I will go Michigan State at Michigan.
Michigan State at Michigan for Lowell. Again, I'll take LSU going to Florida. That's 6 weeks of the season. We'll do 6 weeks at the top of the hour in hour number 2. Don't forget, we've got Antonio Reynolds-Dean, the new assistant coach of the men's basketball team at Clemson, coming up at 7:20, plus your calls, texts, and more. 803-978-1832. We shake the Southland weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Are you a business owner looking to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why ProRecruits.net is better than their competition. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net is also locally owned and has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call Chris today at 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
You're on Pit Stop Radio, and here's what real customers have to say about their pit stop.
I'm a retired New York City police officer. I come to Pit Stop about 9 times a week. I normally get sodas. I love them. They're 99 cents when they're on sale. I get the barbecue skins. I drink Mick Ultra. They got Michelob Ultra 18 packs. Cans for $15.99. That's a great price. And they are so cold, you think you got them straight from Alaska.
Want convenience without compromise?
Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell, the intern in the building, hanging out with us here again tonight on Watch Fox 57. You want to be a part of that, as myself, Zach Lentz, and Courtney King, as I like to call her, Coco King, hosting the show. We have a lot of fun over there. 803-978-1832. Again, that's Watch Fox 57 tonight at 11 o'clock. Lowell, the intern in the building. Lowell, we just went through the first 6 weeks of the season. We gave people 6 games apiece that we would go see. Money's not an option. Travel's not a problem. I can't go watch Clemson. Gamecocks, you can't go watch the Gamecocks play. I could go watch the Gamecocks play. I didn't eliminate them from the choices. But as I go back through those things, through those 6 weeks, a couple of things stood out to me. Even not picking neutral site games. College football is fantastic. There's some great matchups every weekend that unfortunately I don't get to watch. I am again recognizing here on the air how much great I miss every weekend of college football. Because we just went through and named games that I assure you 90% of us will watch about 5% of some of those. Some of them you won't even see anything but the highlights. And those are some really incredible matchups. I don't know what the Swamp is like at night. I don't know what the Swamp is like when LSU's coming in. But give me that all day, every day. If those teams played 12 times a year, I'd probably watch it. I mean, that's the kind of matchup that you expect to see, and that's the kind of environment that I think makes college football great. Whether it's the LSU fans outside of Gator Stadium cooking Gator, I don't know if anybody's eating Tiger. I doubt it. But nonetheless, man alive, Lowell.
You know what I noticed? And we kind of mentioned it. I'm finding myself drawn to a lot of West Coast games. And I don't know if that's because it's the Pac-12 after dark and you don't get a lot of coverage of the West Coast games here, or if there's some allure to going to California.
I think the other thing about it is I would like to I kind of wonder what it's like being a college football fan on the West Coast. Meaning when you roll out of bed at 9 o'clock, you're not waiting on game day. You've got kickoffs. You kick it off when you wake up. You're not getting up for game day at 6 a.m. on the West Coast. Trust me. People might call it an East Coast bias. I don't know that it's as much an East Coast bias as the fact that the ESPN and Fox Sports They know that the people on the West Coast aren't watching anyway at that point. Not a lot of people. But, man, you get up in the morning at 9 o'clock on the West Coast. There's college football kicking off from the East Coast. At noon, you're getting the 3 o'clock games or the SEC matchup on CBS. At 6 o'clock, well, I guess 4 your time, 7 our time, you're getting that night ACC matchup, whatever's on ESPN. And then at 10 o'clock, our time, you're getting that 7 o'clock start that's on the West Coast. You're done with college football. They go from 9 in the morning to about 10 at night with college football.
That sounds like perfect for a college football fan.
Yes.
Perfection.
Are you? Absolutely. Because what happens here? You get up at 6 in the morning. You drive to you drive to Clemson. You tailgate, party, and do all that you do. Clemson plays, let's say, at noon, which I know you guys hate, but let's just go with the noon theory. You're done at 3. You go back to the tailgate. Maybe you pack up and go home, but you miss games while you're driving. Maybe you stay at the tailgate and you watch that next set of games, and then you don't leave the tailgate till about 7. Then that puts you home at 10. Now, you've missed a game in between 7 and 10. I know now with SiriusXM and with televisions in the cars and streaming, you can watch some of that stuff while you're traveling. I get that. But then you get home, and then that West Coast game is kicking off at 10 o'clock. Raise your hand right now or honk your horn if you have ever fallen asleep on the couch in the midst of Arizona versus Utah. I've done that a million times. And it's funny, too, because at my house, I'll normally have a game on the computer, a game on one TV, and I swing another TV into this room. So now I've got 3 games going. And by the end of the night, I've got that one sad final late night West Coast matchup that I'm trying to fight sleep. And then what happens? You fall asleep during that, and you wake up to the Saturday morning shows that are recapping the events of the day of everything that went down, and you can't hardly recover. If you're on the West Coast, you've had a very normal day. You're in bed by 11 o'clock at night.
Or after the games, you're still out partying.
You're doing what you want to do. You're living the life.
Yeah, there's West Coast games don't end until 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Then you fall asleep, you wake up, and you realize you've missed an awesome shootout.
Now, Hawaii's got it a little bit better. Their kickoffs, they're, I think, 7 hours behind us. So a kickoff for Hawaii is a 5 a.m. start. Noon kickoff at 5 a.m. You got to get up a little early in Hawaii for a football game. But then your day ends at like 3. Your day's done at 4 o'clock.
This says they're 6 hours behind us.
Okay, so
6 a.m., a little easier.
You get up at 6, and the final game ends at like 5 in the afternoon. You go out and cut the yard. You got daylight to burn, as they say.
You got up early, go take a nap, get up, go do something else.
How would you
go
like
down the water?
How would you like to live in Hawaii?
Well, my cousin does.
Oh, here we go.
He loves it. He has not invited me to Hawaii yet. I'm very disappointed.
Well, there's a reason for that, Lowell, if
Probably.
you haven't figured that out.
Probably.
Okay. Well, I was in Hawaii. I've told this story before. I was in Hawaii with my wife 11 years ago or maybe 10 years ago. Anyway, it doesn't matter how long the dates were. I know I've been married 10 years, but we went a year after we were married. So
careful, Swanee.
What?
Don't get in trouble.
No. We went a year after we were married. So I can't calculate. It would have been 10 years ago this year because we've been married 11 years. And I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I saw the final putt of a golf tournament in England. It was the British Open. I literally woke up and saw the final. That was what was on at 7 where I was, because they're like 12 hours ahead at that point. It was 7 at night there. Also, I was in Hawaii 7 years ago. Skip Prosser died. That was the other news that went down while we were out there that I remember. Waking up to Skip Prosser Skip Prosser passing away.
Well, that's a great memory to have linked to your Hawaii trip.
I also remember that the food was not all that it was cracked up to be. And that they had Spam at McDonald's. That was awkward.
Did you get any Spam at McDonald's?
No. I've never had Spam.
Me either. It looks weird. I don't want to eat it.
I've never had Spam at all. Not once.
Me either.
I mean, times have been tough, but not tough. I've had ramen noodle tough time, but I've never had Spam tough. Like, that's when you know when you've gone to Spam for the family meals. That's tough. Ramen noodles are spectacular when times are tough. Spam to me, I haven't hit that point yet. You have a problem with that, Lowell? What? What's wrong?
This is getting ridiculous.
I would be interested to hear from somebody that's eating Spam and times aren't tough. You're just all in with it because it's great. Like the people in Hawaii who love it, apparently.
Some people like Spam.
It's on the breakfast menu at McDonald's in Hawaii. 803-978-1832. We'll be back in 3.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Hi, it's Gary David with a reminder from my friends over at Mayhem Roofing. We recently had some heavy hailstorms in parts of Lexington, out in Gaston, and Batesburg. People are still getting approved every day from insurance companies. Make sure you don't have damage to your roof that's insurable. Call Mayhem Roofing today for a free consultation. They'll check for any damages and help you, as they always do, with the insurance process if it's needed. The number to call, 855-GO-MAYHEM. That's 855-GO-MAYHEM, or online, mayhemroofing.com.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
O'Reilly.
Purchase 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter for the same price as Valvoline Conventional, just $24.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Extend the life of your engine with Valvoline Max Life High Mileage at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Tonight, the skies will stay clear and the temperatures will dip down to the upper 60s. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, highs right around 90 degrees with a bit more humidity. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by the South Carolina Education Lottery. You don't have to join a league of superheroes to meet this flash. Play the new $10 instant ticket, $500 in a flash. Overall odds 1 in 3.25. Top prize odds 1 in 179.91.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please tell me you're going to. Now your daddy don't mind, and your mommy don't mind.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. Across from me, Lowell the Intern on Twitter, at Lowell the Intern. Of course, the website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Click join the conversation. Be a part of our Slack channel in our community. You're going to love it. It is great. I will also mention to you here on the air that if you have an Amazon Echo device, you want to install a couple of skills. There are 2 Clemson Sports Talk skills. You can search for those. And there are 2 college football news skills, of which El Swan Media has put together for you to be a part of. So excited to have those out there for the college football fans and also for you Clemson Tigers. Clemson Craig chiming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. He says honk, which means, of course, he's fallen asleep on the couch in the past watching a late-night game. Bent Zero chimes in and says, laugh out loud, man. I eat Spam on a regular basis. I love Spam musabi, which is basically Spam sushi. He says, I'm from Hawaii, though. He says, and I'm making ramen noodles right now, too. Bent Zero.
That sounds like a sad dinner.
We need to have a fundraiser for Bent Zero. What a great guy, though. He's been a loyal part of the program. Yeah, but listen,
sounds like a sad situation to me.
People from Hawaii love Spam, and I don't know why they love Spam. I don't know if it was one of the first foods from the continental U.S. No, whatever you call it, not continental, but the part that's all together, the contiguous. Is that right, Lowell? Google search that, contiguous, please. Let me know if that's right. United States of America. How'd I do?
Don't know how it's pronounced, but it's spelled like you pronounced it, so there's that.
What does it mean?
Sharing a common border? Touching?
Thank you. Contiguous United States of America to the outlying parts like Alaska and Hawaii. I have no idea how the mainland sent Spam there and if that's why they like it. I just don't know. But Hawaii was beautiful. I'd go back in a heartbeat. One of my friends, her and her husband are out there now. She and her husband are out there now, and they're out there a month. He's got like a job kind of thing going on there for a month, and so they packed up and left. They're going to be out there for 1 month. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Positive Mike chimes in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line that he can go 24 hours without sleep during the college football season. I believe it. Positive Mike, I'm just going to tell you, he's at more events than anybody, and somehow he always secures these tickets. He's kind of like the Marlin Man of Clemson Tiger sports. You know the Marlin Man, right? He's the guy that's the front row of all the championships. He was sitting there he was down front during the NBA Finals in his Florida Marlins outfit and his visor. Every time I turn on the game, there's Positive Mike in the end zone somehow, front row. Now, I don't know who he knows, or who he hangs out with, or how he pulls it off, but he is a traveling man when it comes to the Clemson Tigers. I could tell you that, and I feel very safe saying so. Over on our Slack channel, Orange Jack with an interesting question for us here on the program. He wants to talk about how this year's offensive line will stack up against last year's offensive line. He goes on to say he hears a lot of quarterback talk, but what about this line? Thanks. Now, the good news, I think, for Clemson in terms of the offensive line, one, Tyrone Crowder has developed so well in his career. Of course, he's going to be at right guard. He's going to be going up to the ACC kickoff. We mentioned him yesterday, and I talked quite a bit about how well he's developed fundamentally. I love watching him work. And I joked on Watch Fox 57 that, unfortunately, for offensive linemen, you don't get your name called typically unless something bad happens. But he's a guy who has been solid and really improved himself in the past year and a half, in my opinion, because there were issues with him previously with pass protection that I think he's really cleaned up. As far as, rushing the football, he's been a bulldozer his whole career. But he's gotten a lot better at pass pro. You look out to the left at left tackle, And you see Mitch Hyatt out there who came in as a freshman and just was all world when he was kind of thrown into the fire. Last season, he struggled a little bit, had some holds in some bad situations, things that didn't happen to him in year one. I don't know if that was a transition from, and this might sound odd to people, but putting on a little bit of weight. I don't know if that slowed him down just a little bit, because if you recall, 2 years ago on that offensive front, Mitch Hyatt over there at left tackle, and then you had Eric McLean there at the guard spot, and Eric McLean dwarfed him from a size perspective. Just dwarfed him. Matter of fact, McLean was so big that Mitch Hyatt looked like a tight end almost. I mean, that's how lean he was, and he's put on good weight. It's not unhealthy weight. It's good weight that he's put on. So with those two guys there, each one on the opposite side, one at guard, one at tackle, I feel pretty good. I like Taylor Hearn. I like the fight that he brings there at the left guard spot. You go back to that national championship game, Lowell's not. You can see him.
I already know where you're going. I already know where you're going
I'm
with it.
not saying that he's a dirty player. I'm not saying that, but he's an aggressive guy. He's going to stand up for his team. I like it.
I think back to the play, Wayne Gallman's touchdown, his 1 yard run where Taylor Hearn and Jay Guillermo teamed up on was it Payne for Alabama and just pushed him around like a blocking sled, and he just looked like dead weight back there getting shoved around by Hearn and Guillermo.
I mean, and it was funny because when they did it, well, I don't know if the correct word is funny, but if you watch it from a certain angle, it looks like they're moving a dead body. It looks like he's a lifeless individual. And you're right, that was one I completely forgot about that. But those two guys, I really like them. Now comes where you've got some issue. Well, I don't want to call them issue. Sean Pollard at the right tackle spot seemed to have an emergence, I think would be the best word, last season. And, of course, Jake Fruemorgan, who's now at Florida, left, and that's why that spot's sort of up in the air. But I think you've got two very good potential players there, and I think Sean Pollard will ultimately be the guy. And then at center with Falcinelli there.
Yeah, the one that you really worry about is that center position because it was anchored by Jay for the past, 2 or 3 years?
It really was. I mean, even you think of the difference when Ryan Norton would come in and how Clemson would struggle a little bit. You see how valuable that center piece is.
And so you worry about the center spot, I think, the most. Sean Pollard, some people might point there, but I think in the national championship, he struggled early on a little bit in pass protection, but he really settled in and had himself a nice game in that second half.
Yeah, I think it's a very good offensive line. You're not talking about a ton of youth up there. As a matter of fact, in the two deep, I was just looking at it, no freshmen. Everybody's sophomores, juniors, or seniors. So you're not in a situation that Clemson's been in recent years where you've counted on guys that just got to campus and went through fall camp, or maybe some guys that enrolled early to go ahead and get in there. But again, center quarterback exchange, good snaps in this offense where the quarterback has traditionally not been under center is key. So I think that's probably the biggest kind of question mark I have, but it's not a severe one right now. But it could become one. I will absolutely agree with that.
We're putting you in charge of what you hear. Hi, it's Christopher Thompson. iHeart Radio is the easy-to-use app for sports and music radio, which means you can take Fox Sports Radio 1400 with you wherever you go. But iHeart Radio is more than radio. Tell us an artist you love. iHeart Radio creates a custom station just for you with all their biggest hits. It's that easy. As you listen, you can thumb up or thumb down songs, and we'll personalize that station to suit your taste. Download the free iHeart Radio app now.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern, Clemson Sports Talk, the show that shakes the Southland. Follow the show on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Be a part of the conversation. We're giving away some free swag. If you head over to our website, clemsonsportstalk.com, click join the conversation. Of the people who join on June the 12th, I'm going to select some names randomly, and we're going to give away some Clemson Sports Talk Championship t-shirts. So I think you'll enjoy that. Again, you want to get that opportunity, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. On the left side, click Join the Conversation and be a part of our Slack channel. The other thing I'm doing, I'm incentivizing it. Not only am I going to give away T-shirts to people who have joined the Slack community that we have and the Slack channel that we have, I'm also going to pick from a specific group of people, and those are the people that are active in the community as well. So you can give yourself a shot by signing up. You can better your chances by participating, like Orange Jack, like L-Town Flo, Positive Mike, and others. Again, how do you do that? ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Click Join the Conversation. Well, I thought about something during the break. We talked about the offensive line based off of Orange Jack's question. Zach Lentz, who hosted the show here on Friday, his thought was, he said the line may be one of the best Clemson's had. I would rank this year's line second in the nation behind Alabama. And he's talking about the offensive line. But it got me thinking about the defensive front for Clemson. And I agree with Zach. I think it's going to be a very good offensive line in 2017. But the fact that they may not face a tougher defensive front than the one they face weekly at practice, I think is a huge thing for them. And I know that in college football in 2017, we don't, quote, go live the way we once did in sports. But I do think from the fact that these guys are dealing with, think about what they're dealing with. The offensive line at Clemson is dealing with at practice. And the offensive line can certainly go somewhat live by comparison to, you're not going to have your linebackers just cleaning up a running back out of the backfield. I mean, the offensive line and the defensive line can really work. You're not going to take cheap shots at people and chop block them and things of that nature on the football field. But when you think about that, wouldn't you agree that maybe the best thing for this offensive line is simply the fact that the best competition they might face outside of once they get into the college football playoff, and I don't even know if they'll get there, but I certainly don't know that they're going to face a tougher task than Cleveland Farrell, Austin Bryant, Dexter Lawrence, and Christian Wilkins. I don't know that there's a better defensive line in college football that they would face. If even you could say to me, Swanee, here's the best, I'm not sure it's better than Clemson's. You can have that opinion, but I think Clemson's got the best defensive front four in college football. That offensive line sees them every day at practice, which means on Saturday, when the Tigers go heads up against a team like Auburn, the four guys in front of the offensive linemen, well, guess what? They're not as good as the four guys that were in front of the offensive linemen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as the Tigers prepare for that matchup. I think there's tremendous value in that. And I think that's probably something that's a little bit underrated about what that'll do for the experience of this offensive front, what that'll do for some of the guys like Sean Pollard and others to help develop their game and prepare them for the big matchups this year, like Auburn, like Louisville, like Florida State.
You know, I was thinking about this actually during the spring game, during Clemson's spring game, about
when they split them up.
Well,
and the offensive line couldn't do anything with the incredible number of defensive players that were out there.
Well, that too, but mostly that I wished that Clemson could scrimmage another team, maybe a Furman or a Wofford, because how am I going to get a gauge on the quarterback competition when they're going up against some of the best defensive linemen in the country and it's hard to run an offense?
Yeah.
Especially since the defense knows everything you're about to do.
Well, you know, and I wonder too sometimes, should the spring game become more of an open up 7-on-7 style game like it, you know, like you see at these Nike elite camps and things like that? What's on your TV now where it's just a quarterback and some wideouts and some running backs? Is that what we should go watch? Skill position guys? Maybe the big boys can do like burger eating contests and weightlifting challenges or something, powerlifting. We'll watch the big boys power lift, and we'll watch all the skill position guys play some flag football against the DBs and the linebackers. I don't know, but I can tell you it was unfair for that offensive line to be split up the way they were, and then to have the 9-10 guys on the defensive front who are just monstrous be split up, and it's just unfair. I think they're going to be – go ahead.
It's almost like you see a couple of those guys, and then you see one or two names pop up, and you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot that he was going to be on the defensive line this year too.
Yeah, I mean, not having Richard Jurgen in normal years for Clemson would be like an awful deal. I mean, you'd be talking about, oh, man, what are we going to do on the defensive front without Jurgen? Now, without Jurgen, it's not – there's no – name one person that put up a red flag when you found out Richard Jurgen wasn't going to play this year. Nobody. Nobody red flagged it. It's unfortunate, but for Jurgen, he may end up getting more playing time as a player at Clemson by not being a part of this rotation in 2017, because surpassing Bryant or Farrell at defensive end isn't happening. And that'll give him a chance to you know, once he recovers, to grow and mature and be there, man. Be a stalwart for Clemson on that defensive front. Great question, by the way, Orange Jack. How did he submit it? He was over on our Slack channel. Lowell, you finally got Slack on your phone, so you're back in the loop. You were like MIA over the weekend. How you liking it? How do you like the Slack channel? For people that hear us talking about it, that are hesitant, maybe concerned about joining, I tried to streamline it today. There's a tips channel, a Clemson sports channel, a live show channel. That's it. That's all there is. So, what do you think? You like it?
Yeah, it's cool. It's a very cool way to interact. It doesn't get cluttered, which I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't just get crazy. I think it's very organized.
Well, and the other thing I like about it, too, you don't have to refresh the page. And you can come back and see what you missed. It's really nice. I think you should give it a shot. ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Click join the conversation. All right, we're going to head out to the phone lines here on the show that shakes the Southland. John wants to talk about the offensive line tonight. John, welcome in.
Welcome to y'all. That was a great point you made. That's the points that I wanted to make, that, you know, great competition breeds greatness. So having the offense working against that line every day is priceless. But you were talking earlier about Hyatt maybe struggling a little bit last year, and I think he struggled a little bit because he didn't have McClain next to him.
That's a good point.
And McClain, and you still there?
Yeah. Go ahead. That was a good point.
I think McClain, although that was his first time starting, I think that was his probably his best position, and not tight end, since he had been on the team. And he had valuable leadership. And I noticed a lot of times early in the season that the left guard, they asked him to do some things probably he couldn't do,
Yeah,
asked him
Hearn.
to pull a lot.
Yeah.
They asked Taylor Hearn to pull a lot, and he couldn't do it. And once they decided about 3 or 4 games into the season not to ask him to do as much as far as pulling and stuff, his game really improved because he is that hard-nosed, I want to block the guy in front of me kind of guy. He's not the guy that's going to, run around the tackle and trap the end or anything like that. So I think they're going to be solid. I love the backups all the way down the board, and barring a bunch of injuries, I think the sky's the limit. And I'm up.
John, man, I appreciate it. That's a great way to take us to the top of the hour break. Hearn's a young man from the Williston area of South Carolina. Good friends. His parents are good friends with my sister, and Taylor brought his national championship rings over to my sister's store there in Barnwell. They all tried them on, and oh yeah, big time, baby, big time. Hour 2 coming up. Stay with us.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Business owners, have you had to let your last couple of sales hires go because they were not making quota year 1? Want to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
Hey everyone, this is Ray.
And Marianne from Absolute Glass, your local high-end auto glass specialist in the Midlands.
You can be confident if the high-end car dealers trust us to get the job done right, you can too.
Visit AbsoluteGlassInc.com for all your auto, home, and business glass needs, or call us at 803-951-7200.
And don't forget, we do home windows, patio doors, tabletop, shower doors, mirrors, and storefronts. If you can see through it, we can do it.
Hey, there he is. How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird, too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400. WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
We start in the NBA where the deal is done. Chris Paul is now a member of the Houston Rockets, traded by the Clippers today for 7 players, including Patrick Beverley, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, and Sam Decker. Clippers also get a first-round pick that's protected in 2018 and some cash. The Vertical, the first to report that the Knicks and President Phil Jackson parted ways. Jeff Hornacek is the Knicks head coach.
I just want to thank Phil for giving me the opportunity here in New York. I wish Phil the best from this point on, and it's a tough day for us, but our focus is to get this team better.
In the NFL, Cowboys defensive end David Irving was suspended 4 games for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. With TrueCar, you can find out what other people in your area paid for the same car you're looking for, new or used. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Giants just beat the Rockies 5-3. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set! Just call me Swanee.
Tigers time. Tigers time.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, Lowell, the intern, hanging out with you here as we continue on towards our 12 games that we would travel to. We gave you 6 in the first hour of the show. There's really no rule that you can't go back to the same venue if you want to go there again to see another great matchup. Like, prime example, I said earlier that I would like to go see Penn State hosting Pittsburgh. Well, if I thought the best game of another week was Michigan at Penn State or Ohio State at Penn State, I certainly reserve the right to go back to that venue to see another rivalry type, environment. So we'll dive right into that. Don't forget, coming up at 7:20, we'll be joined by Clemson Tigers' newest basketball assistant coach, Antonio Reynolds Dean, making his way down from Rhode Island to be a part of this Clemson Tiger staff. If you want to weigh in, you can text us via the Ocean Reef Resort text line, 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086, or you can hit us up on social media at Clemson Sports, or give us a call, 803-978-1832. Last time, Lowell, the first 6 games, I had first dibs. I got first choice, and that kind of left you at times when we picked the same game scrambling just a little bit to find a new matchup that you would go see. So for the final 6 predictions, I'll let you go first.
Week 7 is an interesting week. If we were doing neutral site games, this would be easy, clear cut. I'm going to Oklahoma versus Texas for the rivalry game there at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
But we are not doing neutral site games. Now, you have already taken a trip to Tennessee in your previous weeks.
Sure.
I think I'm going to take myself a little trip to Tennessee. Go see South Carolina.
Ooh.
Taking on the Tennessee Volunteers in
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Go keep your eye on your favorite team, huh? Is that what you're telling us?
That's what I'm telling you.
All right, so I was looking at this list, and one of the things I recognized about Week 7 of the college football season, it feels like this is the week where things really get going in college football. There were
getting real in the conference races.
So many games. And I had just seen LSU at Florida. Well, now I'm going to return, and I'm going to go to the Bayou. I'm going to see the Auburn Tigers v. Tigers inside Death Valley. I will go see that. And I called it Death Valley for my LSU people listening today, even though we all know the truth about what the real Death Valley is, and we proved that on the field the last time we got together in Atlanta. You want some now, LSU? Well, listen, I'll put the Death Valley on the line. But when I was growing up, they called it Death Valley, so nonetheless, Tigers v. Tigers in Baton Rouge. I'm all over it. Give me the tickets now. I'm headed there. Week 8, Lowell.
Couple good ones here, too. Now, I was looking at USC and Notre Dame, but since I've already taken a trip to South Bend, I'm not going to return to South Bend. Instead, I think I'm going to Beaver Stadium and taking in Michigan at Penn State, which I think should be a great ball game.
Well, here's something that's interesting I'm running into. We're picking a lot of the same venues. I'm beginning to think venue may play more in the importance of it than perhaps who the matchup is, if that makes sense. Like, if the venue is, like you said, Penn State, let's go back to Penn State Pittsburgh. If that game's in Pittsburgh, I'm probably not as interested in it as I am if it's in Penn State, if that makes sense. Is that a fair statement to make?
Sure.
And so I think that's a part of this whole process that is unique. So with that in mind, looking through the list, I think I'm going to make my way to Baylor and see West Virginia at Baylor. There are a lot of really interesting games. Oklahoma State at Texas is on the list that week. That would be a good one.
Louisville at Florida State.
Oklahoma at Kansas State is another one. But I've never been. Now, I'm going to switch it. I'm going Oklahoma State at Texas. I'm going to go there. Oklahoma State at Texas. I'd already been to Oklahoma State for a game. Now I'm going to go to Austin and see Hook'em Horn Nation and what they've got.
Also, fun fact, I may actually be going to the Michigan-Penn State game. So how about that?
Well, there you go. So book it up. Book it up, except you have to pay real money. It's not fictional like this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pay for that one.
All right, week 9, Lowell, you get first dibs on it again. We've got 3 weeks to go after this one of the best venue, best matchups, best games that we would go see if money weren't an option, travel's not an option. We cannot go see Clemson play, and you, when you're looking at the schedule, can't go see your favorite team play.
Well, I think I'm going back to the Big Ten here. Penn State at Ohio State. I think that's the game I'm going to go to. Big rivalry game, big game in the Big Ten. Again, great venue.
No, that is a real good one. And those 4 teams up there, Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. You talk about some matchups and rivalries and venues and fan bases and all of that. I mean, those 4 teams alone are enough for me to enjoy watching some Big Ten football on a week-in and week-out basis. It's not always the best football, but Penn State at Ohio State, that's great. Now, Georgia, Florida is on there, but, of course, that's a neutral site game, so that one cannot be taken, has to be eliminated. And I'm looking through the list, and that's leaving me some scraps here. Not a lot to work with after that.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think the best choice following that game, in my opinion, is probably going to be,
You could do NC State Notre Dame. It's going to be in South Bend.
Yeah, I saw that one on the list, but I don't know that that's the one that tickles my fancy, if you know what I'm saying. I'm looking at Texas Tech at Oklahoma as the potential one I'd like to go see. I hadn't been to Norman. I hadn't made that pick. The other one that was teetering was Utah at Oregon, but I'll take Texas Tech at Oklahoma.
Nothing wrong with that pick at all.
Texas Tech at Oklahoma, week 9. That's where I'm headed. Week 10 of the college football season, Lowell. Just 3 picks remaining.
Easy call. Easy call here. LSU at Alabama.
Oh.
I'm going to Bryant-Denny Stadium to take in that one, baby.
Man, I tell you, I think you may have the with that pick alone, you may have the best pick of the litter. I don't know how good that game will be this year. I would expect Alabama will be probably a 10-point, maybe 12-point favorite. Right now, that's where I'd have it, but let's see.
That atmosphere should be insane still.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, listen, I'm with you. I've got Oklahoma State hosting Oklahoma as a potential matchup to go see.
South Carolina at Georgia between the hedges.
Yeah, I've already been over to the hedges, though. So I'm going to go Texas A&M hosting Auburn.
That's a good one,
I want to
too.
go see that new stadium. I want to see 105,000 people. Texas A&M, Kyle Field, the tradition. I'll take that. Week 11.
Week 11. All right, I need to look at this list for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go yet. Week 11.
You can go to Florida at South Carolina.
You know, after all the big games.
There's one. Notre Dame at Miami.
I thought about it.
Yeah. What do you have a problem with that?
I'm not feeling the atmosphere
Catholics
in Miami.
versus convicts?
Yeah, but I'm not feeling the atmosphere in Miami.
I did get robbed the last time I was in Miami. Well, not robbed, but my stuff got stolen. I like to say robbed. It makes me sound tougher.
I think I may be going to Jordan-Hare Stadium. Georgia at Auburn.
Ooh,
taking that one in.
That's a good one. Well, if you're going to go there, that leaves me. I mean, that's a simple. I'm going back to Miami. Notre Dame at Miami. I don't know that there's that seems like a no-brainer to me, especially if by week 11 of the college football season, Mark Richt has his club playing some incredible football. I mean, if they're a team that's contending in the Coastal Division for the first time since they've been in the league, then that's one that you got to go see. All right, week 12. The college football season. There's actually 13 weeks. I forgot about the bye week. So
now this is not a great week of football here. This is getting into the end of the season.
Yeah, this is
where
when
you start playing the
Mercer at Alabama. That's not on your list of games to go
start
see.
Playing here's one.
Okay.
Now it's going to be cold. It's going to be very cold.
Sure.
But I'm going to Camp Randall Stadium to take in Michigan at Wisconsin.
All right. Well, that leaves me an easy one. I'm going to head out to the West Coast. I'm going to see UCLA at Southern Cal.
There you go.
That's a great matchup in Los Angeles Memorial Stadium.
You know, I thought about, too, Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh.
Not so much.
It should be a night game at Lane Stadium, which is the draw for me.
Arizona at Oregon has intrigue written all over it for me. I think that's another great man. I'm telling you. The games that you don't get to see during the football season because you're at Clemson, people, let me tell you.
Boy, how about all the Friday night matchups in Week 13? Some good ones in here.
Is that must be is that Thanksgiving? That must be why. That must be
Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah, a lot of good matchups in here. Oh, rivalry week.
Florida State, Florida, Alabama, Auburn. This is the easiest. Notre Dame at Stanford.
I've been to Auburn already, but I feel like I've got to go back for the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to. If you're picking one of these, you got to go back for the Iron Bowl. I think I'm going to the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I think you have to as well because that's the match. I mean, that's the matchup in most people's minds in terms of college football. I mean, that probably in Ohio State, Michigan would be the other one that would be the most interesting for me, and that's where I'll go. I'm headed to the Big House. I'm going to see Ohio State at Michigan.
That would have been choice number 2 for me.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong. You got Florida State. We pass on Florida State.
I know.
Florida State Florida.
It's a tough week.
Just like, that doesn't matter. Notre Dame at Stanford. Who cares?
All right, for fun.
Yeah.
Go to Week 14. Let's see what game you would go to here in Week 14.
Week 14. Slim, there's not much to pick from here. We got Louisiana at App State, Troy at Arkansas State, Georgia Southern at Coastal, Idaho at Georgia State, Southern Alabama at New Mexico. I've been traveling so much, Lowell. Do I get first pick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go see Georgia Southern at Coastal.
I was going to do that too. Say take a little trip to the beach, go to the football game,
recharge for the postseason.
All right, I'll go to App State. I'll go to App State for that one.
What's on Week 15?
It's got to be championship week. There's nothing. How about that? We both get to go take a trip.
Army Navy,
Lincoln Financial Field.
All right.
And see Army Navy.
That worked out perfectly. We both get to go to that one because
that's
the
together.
Only game.
We're going together.
No, December the 9th, Army Navy. Dude, can you imagine if you could do those 12 games that were 13 games or however many games it was that we just did for the season?
And some of those weeks it's such a tough call on which game you're going to go to.
Well, let me tell you this: if you had Clemson's schedule right beside it, I could justify missing every game on Clemson's schedule for games we picked. Every game. I mean, you say to me,
I think
Swanee, don't you want to see Clemson and Florida State in Death Valley? Guess what? I've seen that movie. I've seen Clemson win that game. I've seen Clemson lose that game. You know what I haven't seen? Penn State hosting Pittsburgh. If I could do it, if somebody wanted to fund it, send me around, I'd do it. I'd miss every Clemson game to go do that road trip college football season that we just put together. I'd take either of our schedules. You could put the 2 schedules in the hat, draw them out. I'd be perfectly satisfied with every single one. I'd sit in the last row of every stadium. I'd sit as far back from the field if that's what it meant. Every one of those games would be incredible. Every single one of them. 803-978-1832. Wow, those matchups, man. Even on the tough weeks, there were 4 or 5 just incredible games to choose from.
It's making me ready for football season.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready to watch these games, man.
Not only that, but when you start thinking about just being a fan in that environment of college football and what it's like, whether you've got, Clemson's, their Tiger Walk into the stadium, the pregame, the buses, just everything that goes into college football and all of those venues. And this was, I think, the broader point I've been trying to paint about how special college football is. We can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. We're so ingrained in Clemson and what's going on in Clemson that you don't even recognize the little things. Like, not only would I like to go to those games, I'd like to go to those games with a knowledgeable fan. I want to go to the Notre Dame game and have a guy go, well, listen, 2 hours before the game, we all gather around the sacred tree and sing Kumbaya or whatever they do. You know what I mean? I want to know about the things that go on. I want somebody who's knowledgeable with me of every single one of those matchups. I want to know somebody that can train me before the game. All right, when they say who, you say who-wah. It comes, I want to, because I don't know that stuff. I know some of it. I think we all know some of that stuff, but we don't know it all. Like, when you take somebody to the Clemson game for the first time and they've never been there, they don't really follow college football, and you say, okay, now listen, here's what's about to happen. Our guys are going to go back to the locker room. They're going to board 3 buses, 2-3 buses. They're going to ride around the stadium. They're going to pop out over here on the other side of the hill with a police escort. They're going to unload off of these buses. They're going to stand at the top of the hill. They're going to rub a rock. We're going to fire a cannon. They're going to run down the hill. And the person's going, my nephew Will has a friend named Adrian. And he is from Bulgaria. Now, he went to law school at Georgia. He's been around some college football, but he'd never been to a Clemson game until last football season. And so we bring him to the Clemson game. And, you're sharing all this stuff with him about all these little nuances that go on in and around the game, pregame, during the game, all of that. And, for somebody that's, I'm not saying he's not interested in college football, because he is. He's been here long enough to be interested in it. That's awesome. And to go to every one of those stadiums that we talked about and do those things, like going to LSU and going to see Mike the Tiger, just to see the Tiger, would be bonkers. That would be where I'd go just to do that and not even go see the game if I had to. Just go tailgate and see the Tiger. Always wish Clemson had that. Wouldn't that be incredible to have a live Tiger on campus, prowling around his area, whatever you call a den, tiger something, his pit? Lord, those are great picks, man. Great picks. 803-978-1832. Going to be a lot of fun here coming up in a few minutes. We'll be joined by Clemson's brand new assistant basketball coach, Antonio Reynolds Dean. Bent Zero sends us a picture of his ramen noodles over on our Slack channel. It looks like ramen, shrimp, 2 hard-boiled eggs. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but he says do not sleep on his ramen noodle game. We are not going to sleep on this ramen noodle game. Coming back right here on the show that shakes the Southland, Clemson Sports Talk, we'll be joined by Antonio Reynolds Dean, brand new Clemson assistant men's basketball coach. Stay with us.
Attorney Preston McDaniel has been fighting for the rights of injured South Carolinians in and out of court since 1984.
I'm Attorney Preston McDaniel, and you know, I grew up in rural South Carolina. Every time I look across my desk at an injured worker, I see one of my friends or neighbors. They didn't ask to get hurt, and they don't deserve to be treated like a rented mule by an insurance company. If you or someone you know or care about is injured on the job, help them get a fair shake. Call the McDaniel Law Firm today at 771-7211.
Visit online at pfmcdaniellaw.com.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Stay on top of today's pop culture. Ace and TJ Mornings and today's hit music all day on 104.7 WNOK.
I'm a girl watcher. I'm a girl watcher. Watching girls go by.
Oh, yeah, all the beach music hits for you here as we head towards the end of summer. I know many of you are saying, Swanee, we just got to summer, but listen, we are a month into the beach music hits, just 1 month remaining. College football season will get underway, and before you know it, the Clemson Tiger men's basketball team will be back on the court, and, of course, they will be with a new assistant men's basketball coach. Antonio Reynolds-Dean joins the program tonight. And, Coach, welcome into the show. First and foremost, we're the same age. I remember you playing back in the day up there at Rhode Island. So let's clarify something for people, because there's a million different ways, I guess, out there to pronounce and spell your name. Is it Antonio Reynolds-Dean? No hyphen? Hyphen? How does it look on your license, I guess?
On my license, Antonio R. Dean. Yeah, I just keep it like that so I can keep it short, just to keep away from all the confusion.
Yeah. Now, when you were playing, though, it was pretty standard. People called you Antonio Reynolds-Dean. I mean, that's how I remember you.
Yeah. It was one of those funky things where all the way up to my sophomore year in college, I was Antonio Reynolds, and I wanted to honor my dad as well. And back then, my dad wasn't around to sign my birth certificate, but we have a really good relationship now, and we developed one back then, so I honor him, and I chose to put his name on there as well. So that's how you got Antonio Reynolds-Dean.
So do the players call you Coach Reynolds-Dean, Coach Dean? How does that work
Dean.
out?
Coach Dean.
There we
Coach
go.
Dean.
So we're joined by Coach Dean. So now that's all been cleared up here on Clemson Sports Talk for the people trying to figure that out. And Coach Dean, as you look at Clemson from afar, you're up at Rhode Island, you're looking down at this program. What was it specifically about Clemson that you like? I know you had ties to the program with Dick Bender being there and from your time down in Charleston with him, but ultimately, what was it from afar that you saw about Brad Brownell's program that you really liked?
Well, first of all, you got to start with the head coach. I mean, I think Brad Brownell, he's a very well-respected guy in the business. Heard a lot of good things about him. And at my time with Earl Grant, he sung his praises. And just watching those guys on TV, I thought they were, right on the cusp of being for a breakout season and get to the NCAA tournament. And I wanted to be the guy that came down and helped them get over the hump. So it was very appealing. Also Brad Brownell, great guy. He's produced 3 minority head coaches in 8 years. I mean,
that's a good point.
How many coaches in the ACC can say that? I haven't done all the research on it.
Yeah.
But in an 8-year span, you'd be hard-pressed to find another head coach that produced 3 minority head coaches in an 8-year span. So that, to me, his track record speaks for itself. Earl Grant is a really good friend of mine, and he had all good things to say about him, and it made my decision easy.
We're joined now by Clemson's brand new assistant basketball coach, Antonio Reynolds Dean. Goes by Coach Dean to make it easy for everybody. And Coach, you and Rhode Island and your squad, you guys made it into the NCAA tournament last year. What was that run like for you? And, of course, what can you take away from that experience to bring to this basketball club in Clemson to maybe push those guys over the edge?
Oh, it was an unbelievable experience. When you're on the bubble, you know, when you're in a mid-major league like the Atlantic 10, which is really hard, and when they're telling you every game you got to keep winning or you're not in, you got to keep winning. And we stayed on a bubble for about 2 weeks there, and we knew we had to go down to Pittsburgh and win 3 straight games to get into the NCAA tournament, and we kind of clicked at the right time. And that's what I kind of want to bring here to Clemson. When I left Charleston to go to University of Rhode Island, which is my alma mater, when they hadn't been to the tournament since 1999, people said it couldn't be done, and I thought they was just right there. NIT, you know, had some struggles, and that's kind of how I view Clemson. I think they're right there, and I just want to come down and do whatever I can to help these guys get over the top. And it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some dedication, but I think we got the guys to do it.
Now, of course, when you arrived at Clemson, and I'm assuming that you've had chances to look around the facilities, and myself, you know, being a guy that was in the old Little John for many, many years, I don't know if you have any basis of comparison, but certainly in terms of some of the stadiums and the venues you've been in, how does the newly renovated Little John Coliseum, in your opinion, affect recruiting? How does it fit in terms of what it can bring to the Clemson Tigers moving forward?
Well, first of all, it speaks to the level of commitment that the school is pouring into the basketball program, first off. And secondly, you'd be hard-pressed to find another building and just a campus athletic facility like Little John. I mean, from the strength coach, from the weight room, from the practice gym to Little John, the scoreboard, you know, just the details of it. I think that in the ACC, I don't think there's another facility quite like it. And I think in recruiting, that kind of evens the level of playing field. It evens it out. So I think when guys come into Little John, they're blown away by the facilities. And if you give good recruiters like the staff here we got at Clemson, a place like Little John, it makes recruiting a lot easier.
Now, I just turned 40 back in February. I know you just turned 40 in March. Do you still do you still feel like me that you're still about 20, 22 years old? I mean, just physically, do you still feel that way?
Oh, yeah, I still feel that way. And the guys, you know, I only been with the guys for a week now, and they all just keep taking subtle jabs at me. You know, Eli Thomas saying he's going to do this to me. So
right.
I'm in the gym right now.
Yeah.
I'm with these guys, and before you know it, by October, we're going to be playing one-on-one, and I guarantee you I'm going to win.
Well, and that was my next question for you. So I know that former Clemson Tiger assistant coach Mike Winnecki really focused and worked more with the big men. Is that what you'll be charged with based on the conversations that you've had with Coach Brad Brownell?
Yes. You know, that's one of my primary roles on the team. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that I take a lot of pride in. I think there's no reason why a kid with the talent of like an Eli Thomas shouldn't be, you know, right on the cusp for an all-East ACC player or maybe even make one of those teams. I think he's the key to our season. I think if he has the type of season that we think he can have, I think that would be one of the reasons why we get over the top. And I pride myself in making sure he's ready to compete at a high level every night.
Brand new Clemson assistant men's basketball coach Antonio Reynolds Dean joins us here on Twitter. He's at Coach A.R. Dean. And, Coach, remind me, because you know how these things are and time gets away from you, your career at Rhode Island, were you there with Lamar Odom at any point?
Yes, I was with Lamar for 2 years. He had to sit out 1 year, and he played 1 year. And he's a really good friend of mine. Wish him all the best. I actually saw him a couple of months ago. When we got in the NCAA tournament, they put us out in Sacramento, and he came to both games, and it gave the team a little jolt.
Yeah,
and he's just a great guy.
Now, the year that you two got to play together, we've got about a minute left. Remind people who maybe don't recall, you guys had a heck of a run up there at Rhode Island.
Yes, the '98 year we went to the Elite Eight, and then the year that Lamar played, we won the Atlantic 10 tournament, and he was an unbelievable player, almost a triple-double guy, fresh out of the gate, and the mark he left on that program will never be forgotten.
Well, listen, Coach Dean, we appreciate your time tonight here on Clemson Sports Talk. We hope this is not your last visit. We'd love to have you join us throughout the college basketball season. Best of luck to you guys and Coach Brad Brownell. I know everybody's out there pulling for you guys to have a successful season and make it into the postseason as well.
Okay, thank you. When we make it, you're going to have me back on, right?
Oh, listen, we're going to have you back on before then, Coach, but I like the fact that we're going to make the NCAA tournament. I'm putting that in the books.
No, I didn't say that. Don't do that. Don't say that.
I hear you, man. All right, take care, okay. Coach Antonio Reynolds Dean here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. 803-978-1832. You like that?
That was not on the record, Lawton Swan.
Right. That was not. I love it. That was a lot of fun catching up with Coach Dean here on Clemson Sports Talk. Great story, though, about his father and putting his dad's name, there, because I remember his entire playing career, Antonio Reynolds Dean, and at least the latter half when they made their run, and then with Lamar Odom. And then when he comes to Clemson, you see it out there hyphenated, not hyphenated. Now, I wanted the answer. What's on the driver's license, Coach? We'll be back here in 3 minutes. Stay with us.
With so many music apps out there, ever wonder which one is the best? It's iHeartRadio. Not because we say so, because you do.
iHeartRadio!
iHeartRadio is the #1 rated music app in America. It's the only one with live radio, artist stations, and an unlimited selection of music. All in one app. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download the free iHeartRadio app or listen at iHeartRadio.com.
Your pet deserves high-quality health care. Your pet deserves the friendly, professional doctors and courteous staff at Midland's Veterinary Practice. We treat you and your pet like family by listening carefully to your concerns and addressing your pet's long-term healthcare needs. With the use of our latest state-of-the-art technology, like a therapeutic laser, we offer alternatives to drug therapy. At Midland's Veterinary Practice, we care for the most valuable pets, yours. Visit us at MidlandsVet.com on Facebook or Twitter, or contact us at 750-7387, 750-PETS.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
From two men and a truck, movers who care. Tonight, the skies will stay clear and the lows will dip down to the upper 60s. Tomorrow, sunny with highs topping out right around 90 degrees. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Ray Farmer, Director of the South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Hurricane season is upon us. Help protect your family and property by being storm ready. Make an emergency plan, prepare a home inventory, and review your insurance policy. Learn more ways to be storm ready at doi.sc.gov.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 college football national champion, Clemson Tigers.
Oh, yeah, shaking the Southland, Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern. Lowell, what'd you think of Coach Dean there? I mean, I really enjoyed that interview with him. We got to get him back on more. He's our new Richie Riley, I think. That's our new guy.
Sorry, Richie, you've been replaced.
Well, Richie's gone to Nicholls State anyway, so it's okay. But, yeah. But Richie's still our guy, though. We can bring Richie on from time to time. Lowell, do we have the audio? Can we hear that final little snippet between that final exchange between Coach Dean and myself? That was great. Let me hear that. Run it up for us.
Okay. Thank you. When we make it, you're going to have me back on, right?
Oh, listen, we're going to have you back on before then, Coach. But I like the fact that we're going to make the NCAA tournament. I'm putting that in the books.
No, I didn't say that. Don't say that.
That's cute. That's great. That's great, Lowell. That's fantastic. 803-978-1832. No, I didn't say that. He kind of did, didn't he? I don't think it was a guarantee.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be off the record, though. Sorry, Coach. You got to say off the record or it's on the record.
Right. Oh, man. I know Clemson Tiger fans that heard him obviously do appreciate his energy. And that's the reason, I don't know if you understood that. That's why I asked the question about how old does he feel right now. Because I feel like at 40, he's still what I would consider to be a young coach. I think 40 is still fairly young in that business. And even though he doesn't, no offense, Coach, you look a little older than me. I think he looks older than me. He doesn't look 40. He looks a little older than 40. He's also 6'7", 6'8", so he's probably pretty doggone intimidating. And with a voice like that too, Lowell. Lowell said, Swanee's got a deep voice. Oh gosh, might be my replacement. You know, when the radio show goes belly up, you guys will be listening. You'll be listening to Clemson Sports Talk with Antonio Reynolds Dean right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. But yeah, I think he'll definitely bring something to the table in terms of recruiting for the Clemson Tigers. The other thing I wonder about, and this is, something that I really wasn't all too sure about from his playing day, because as much as I remember him, I don't, if that's fair to say. Like, I remember him, but I can't remind you enough about, was it a back-to-the-basket type game? Was it a, low-post style? I wanted to find out, if that was going to indeed be the situation, that he would be working with those guys in the low post. And I loved hearing him say that Eli Thomas, he didn't think there was any reason that Eli Thomas wasn't going to be like an all-ACC performer. I don't know if that was do you remember the exact quote he said about Eli Thomas? But it was the gist of it was that he didn't see a reason Eli Thomas couldn't lead that team, that Eli wasn't going to be the leader of that ball club this year. And I like that, because didn't you look at Eli Thomas at times in 2017 and 2016, 2017 season and think to yourself, man, this kid should be more dominant. This kid should be a bigger asset to this team than he was. I mean, I thought he was a kid that should have probably been starting throughout the year, but never could quite climb up and get not necessarily meaningful minutes, but never really was able to supplant Sidi Jete there on the front line, and I thought he should have. I thought he was much more skilled. I thought he was a much better player. In terms of recruiting, he absolutely was. So to hear Coach Dean come in and say, these are the things that we're going to try to do, I like that. I really do like that. And I think also to hear from him from the perspective of somebody outside of the Clemson circle, why he wanted to come. And Brad Brownell placing several African-American head coaches in other roles. And for a guy like Antonio Reynolds-Dean, he looks at that and goes, okay, opportunity here. And a chance for him to be a part of that coaching tree from Coach Brad Brownell. So there you go. 803-978-1832. If you head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com, you can be a part of the program by clicking Join the Conversation like Clemson Larry did. He says, Coach Dean seems very sincere and capable of helping our basketball team. He says, I'm pulling for him. And Larry, you know what? I think it's funny because everybody knows where I kind of stand on Brad Brownell at Clemson. And I can't draw a line in 2016 and say, you know what, I think Clemson needs to change basketball coaches. But then in 2017, say to you, well, forget what I said in 2016. That's not fair to you, the listener. Heck, that's not even fair to Brad Brownell, in all honesty. Now, if in 2017 Clemson comes out and performs at a high level, I'll absolutely back up off of that statement. I'll say, you know what? I was clearly wrong. Dan Radakovich was right, and Brad Brownell is going to create a winner at Clemson. I'm happy to be wrong about that. But I'm not going to draw a line last year and then and move that line for you today. Not doing it. They're going to have to prove it on the court. But I will tell you something. What I heard in that interview with Antonio Reynolds-Dean, new assistant coach at Clemson, I liked it. And if that's a step in the right direction, if that's the first step towards the NCAA tournament and bringing what I would call respect back to Clemson Tigers, back into the Clemson Tiger basketball team from outsiders looking at that program, if that's a hire that makes that first step for Brad Brownell and this coaching staff, then you know what? I think he's taking a good step. I feel like Larry does. I sincerely am pulling for this team because of what I heard right there from Coach Dean. And that's a guy that I think is going to do a great job. And it's a tough situation he's walking into. I mean, let's think about this, Lowell. If Clemson Sports Talk were coming off of a pretty bad year on the radio, and the consensus around iHeart Media was, well, if you guys have another bad year, Clemson Sports Talk is going to have to pack up his stuff and go somewhere else to host a radio show. It's a lot of risk to move into that. He's at Rhode Island, his alma mater, and they just went to the NCAA tournament. Yeah. It's a lot of risk to go to Clemson if you don't believe it can be done. Because, unfortunately for Coach Reynolds-Dean, or Coach Dean, if Brad Brownell doesn't win this season, Brad Brownell, I think most people believe, is gone. And that's just the nature of coaching. And you shouldn't feel sorry for Coach Brad Brownell. You should feel bad for his wife. You should feel bad for his kids. You don't need to feel bad for the coaches. They are well compensated to be hired and fired. It's not fun to be hired and fired, but it is fun to look at the numbers of zeros and commas in your bank account. That's probably got some joy to it. It probably doesn't hurt to roll up and go, well, all the bills are paid and we got plenty of cash to do what we want. But again, they have families. They have, and all these coaches do. And the assistant coaches certainly don't make what the head men's basketball coaches are making, but they make good money. But it is a risk, but a risk he felt like it was willing to take. He was willing to take to come to the Atlantic Coast Conference, to come to Clemson, and to get this team over the hump and get them into the NCAA tournament. And you know what? I like it. I'm not going to change where I am on Brad Brownell, but I am in support of this team and this move that they've made.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Services. Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com. Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Weeknights, 6 to 8 p.m. Hurry up, no huddle, Sports Talk Express. If you missed our interview with Antonio Reynolds-Dean, brand new Clemson assistant basketball coach, that will be up on our podcast feed later tonight, as well as the full-length version of the show. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us over on YouTube, on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, watching via YouTube. Those of you listening on the iHeart Radio app, those of you listening to us over the air here in the Midlands on Fox Sports Radio 1400. O-Line on the line with us tonight. O-Line, what's up, man?
Hold on, Clem Swan. I didn't get to listen, but about the first 15 minutes and the last 20 minutes, I got behind a lawnmower and couldn't stop.
Dude, I did the yard today, and what a glorious feeling it is after you do the edging, and then you look at your yard and compare it to everybody else's. Oh, it's spectacular.
It is. Good feeling. Hey, 3 things. As far as the watching the college game other than your own team, number one, the first thing that came to my mind was Army-Navy, going to that game. And then number 2, probably the safest time to go to an LSU game would be to a neutral game, like LSU Alabama, go in wearing green and white or something like that, and just tell the LSU fans that you're a college football fan and you always wanted to go to an LSU game. You'd probably be safer and have a lot more fun. And then number 3,
that's a good point.
You'd have to exclude the Florida-Georgia as a neutral site because that should be in there, not excluded.
You know what, O-Line, I'll give you that. I think that's fair. And the fact that game is always played in a neutral site might be another reason to do that, because like Florida State, you know what I'm saying? Florida State and Alabama don't play every year. That's why I wanted to throw those games out. That's a good point.
Right. And that's one that I would like to go to just to check out the scene. I'll see you, big guy.
All right, buddy. Hey, appreciate you peeking over the fence and having fun with us here on Clemson Sports Talk, and I'm sure that the wife likes the yard. Lowell, do you agree with that? I think we should probably amend our rules just slightly for that Georgia-Florida game or any game that's always played on a neutral site.
Okay.
Because you see what I mean?
But only one of us can go still. Only one of us can go to it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Who's going to it?
Yeah, I'll send you, Lowell.
Okay.
I'm kind-hearted. So that's what we've got going on over there. 803-978-1832. If you want to be a part of the program, we certainly do appreciate you hanging out with us and having a good time and just being a part of what we do here on the show that shakes the Southland. Antonio Reynolds Dean was on earlier. I give that interview a solid, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going a solid 9. I thought it was a really good interview. I had a lot of fun with him. I think the toughest portion of the interview was the beginning in trying to figure out exactly what we call him. Is it Coach Antonio or Coach Reynolds Dean? Simply Coach Dean? And now that we got out of the way that it is indeed Coach Dean, because his entire playing career he was Reynolds Dean that I remember. He said he was Antonio Reynolds the first part of his career, but let me tell you, the first part of his career at Rhode Island, they weren't very good. I remember the run in the NCAA tournament. I remember playing with Lamar Odom. I just couldn't remember if they crossed paths, but I remember when Lamar Odom rolled into campus at Rhode Island. I don't know if there's YouTube video of Lamar Odom playing collegiately, Lowell. That's worth a Google. That guy was going to be the next Magic Johnson, I thought. He ran the point for the majority of his years there at Rhode Island. You're talking 6'10" with the ball in his hand, bringing it up the court. Are there some highlight videos out there?
There's apparently a video of him hitting a game winner at Rhode Island in the A-10 Conference Championship.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Sent Rhode Island to the tournament.
Did he? Not Reynolds Dean. Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom. Buried a three-pointer.
Okay. Nice. I'll tell you, he was – I thought he would be greater than he was in the NBA, and he was very versatile, and he was very good. I thought he would be greater than he was. And he's had some ups and downs. He's had some real ups and downs. I think anytime you get involved with the Kardashians, you're probably going to have some ups and downs. Those girls will run you ragged in a hurry, it seems. I'm just waiting on Kanye to break again at any point. But pretty neat that he's still friends with Lamar Odom, and that Lamar Odom came out while they were playing on the West Coast at Rhode Island and supported him. I thought that was cool. Lowell, did we learn anything today that we typically did not know heading into the show? Did we learn anything about orcas or anything that, parting words here of wisdom from a sage like yourself?
Well, you know what I did learn earlier today?
Yes.
People are really kind of split on what is considered the turning point in Clemson football history.
The turning point. I say punt Ruski. Is that too far back?
That's a little too far back.
Okay.
What catapulted the Tigers to a national title? See, I put out that a lot of people picked the Chick-fil-A Bowl against LSU, and that's fair. You can make plenty of arguments for that
24-23, was that the final of that game?
I believe so. 4th and 16, iconic moment.
Chandler Catanzaro.
But I said it was actually the blowout loss to West Virginia.
Okay.
In the Orange Bowl.
This could be a topic for tomorrow then, for sure.
And I put out a poll. It has 93 votes right now.
Okay.
There are 12 hours left in the poll if you would like to go vote.
At Lowell the Intern on Twitter.
Right now, the Orange Bowl loss to West Virginia leads 55 to 45%.
That was the turning point.
And, yeah.
That was an ACC championship season, a trip and a berth in the Orange Bowl.
But you know what's funny? Even when you went 6-7 in 2010, you weren't humiliated like you were in the Orange Bowl game. I think that was the moment under Dabo Swinney where you hit rock bottom. I think that was the rock bottom moment, and I think that was the situation that caused the administration to go, this is never happening again. We're going to do something about this. I think they turned it around from that point. Not to mention, it got you Brent Venables.
Well, that's a big part of the success of Clemson Tiger football for sure. And I think also, as much as Dabo Swinney and Chad Morris, I would say, worked well together, I think what Swinney quickly realized is that the hurry-up, no-huddle offense is a great thing, and to spread people out and you still see some of that at Clemson. He learned something there. He needed a better offensive coordinator. We can agree. He had to go out, and he made a risky hire, and it worked. But then he also started to recognize that in addition to the great offense, you needed to win the line of scrimmage. You needed to have a great defense and a great defensive front. And I think he looked at Alabama and he looked at what they're doing and he said, okay, we need that. We need big brawlers, athletic. I mean, so last year we're watching the national championship game and Ryan Anderson strips that ball and scoops it up and is getting ready to score. And maybe the play of the game for Hunter Renfrow was the tackle and not the touchdown, where he dives into his knees. Would you be absolutely shocked if at some point in the next calendar year you're watching a Christian Wilkins or a Dexter Lawrence strip a ball in a game and make that type of play?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I think the other aspect of hiring Venables, why he was so attractive, is that he was at Oklahoma, which ran a hurry-up spread offense, and he was successful. And so I think you went and got a guy who's used to dealing with that type of offense and having successful defenses.
Full versions of the interview and podcast will be up just after the show. You want to make sure that you subscribe to our podcast in the Overcast app on iPhone, Podcast Addict app on Android devices, and don't forget you can always rewatch the show on our YouTube channel. Again, it is ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Click Join the Conversation. Zach Lentz, who's helping us out with Clemson Sports Talk now, with a little tease over there, a little tidbit for you maybe. Again, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Join the conversation. For Lowell the Intern, I'm Lawton Swan. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devon Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devon Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber. Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to her favorite pop star's concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
B, remember the moment with matching concert t-shirts.
That's gonna be $180. Or we can just take a photo.
C, show her how you used to do concerts.
We're going crowd surfing!
I can't! He's too heavy! Oh my God! Ah.
Or D, just roll with it.
Woo! Justin! Look at us! We're over here!
Justin! OMG! He just looked... I love you, Justin! I love you.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org/SC. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Families affected by disasters urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to those affected by disasters, big and small. Donate to Red Cross Disaster Relief. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Live from La La Land, I'm Tom Looney. Slaving over a hot microphone. Chris Paul is now officially